Welcome, friends, to Club Misery, where we review the eeriest and the queeriest of horror. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm here. I'm Audrey3. I'm with my co-host, Brannick. Say hi, Brannick.
Hi, Brannick.
Today, we're going to be talking about vampires brighter in darkness, and we're going to get right to this, man. Spoilers, so many spoilers, because we promise you won't want to watch this movie, so we're going to spoil it for you.
It is painful. It is something that causes pain, and I've dealt with pain, both pain, pain.
Before we start, I have to ask a question. Do you know why it was called Vampires Brighter in Darkness? Did you catch that?
Because they shined a lot?
No, that's not it. Toby's last name was Brighter.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
I'm so glad I did not realize that. I was
looking at the cast list afterwards, and I was like, wait, his name is Brighter? Get into who Toby is. Here we go. Okay, beginning of the movie. It's 500 AD Europe. What language is anybody speaking? We don't know. There's a guy dressed as a Roman. There may be some Spartans there. We're not sure. Anyway, so this guy named Lucas, he's going to some sort of ruins, and there's a vampire goddess there named Lilith. And he's like, I really want you to make me a vampire. And she's like, why not? Lots of fake lightning, lots of hissing. These vampires hiss all the time.
That is in my notes. Audrey.
Yes.
That is in my notes as capitals. So much hissing.
These vampires were like, a cat that's like vaguely scared. Constantly. Like every time they fought, every time they just wanted to talk, they have to hiss first. They're like,
honestly, there's a car in the road. They're kind of slightly curious. They're like,
exactly.
Constantly. In fact, I said, okay, of this movie, 80% of it is hissing, 5% of it is sped up footage, 5% of that is off-brand Matrix soundtrack that was cut, and 5% is PG-13 making out.
5% seems awfully high, I would say.
Of the PG-13 making out?
Yeah, it was more like 2% making out, maybe.
Well, in the last half, they didn't really, but in the first, oh my God, the two. Okay, go back to your story. There's so many things that go on, and nothing goes on. It is Zen. It is a Zen puzzle.
This is true, because like this movie, it's 2 hours long.
2 fucking hours.
And if there's a plot in there, I mean, there is a plot, but the plot doesn't seem to matter. It's like a bunch of fetch quests. It's a movie full of fetch quests is what it is.
So many MacGuffins.
Okay, back to 580 Europe. Lucas wants to be a vampire, so Lilith bites him. He's a vampire. Okay, modern day times. Lucas is feeding on somebody or whatever, and he gets the most menacing sounding voicemail ever. You got mail. Seriously. Most evil sounding you got mail. And then it's basically a hit on like
Grindr. Grindr?
Yes.
Bumble?
It's hit on Grindr. This guy named Toby. Okay, and then there's the opening credit sequence then.
On his butt. It starts on his butt.
Yes, the opening credits are just like over Toby showering. And I don't know why. I don't know. He's showering on his butt. Yeah. Okay. And so this guy named Toby and Lucas, they're going to have a date. I think it's a Freemasons hall.
That's what I said. I said, why did he go rent a hall for a fucking dinner date?
I think it was supposed to be a restaurant. I think it was. But the thing was, they had like card tables set up and candles on all the card tables. And like, I don't know why they had all the card tables when Lucas
had a bingo game going on in the back.
Exactly. Anyway, yeah. So they have this date. There's a lot of talking. Like, apparently they have a connection. I didn't really feel it.
It is horrid. Horrid.
Maybe not. Well, would you say it's worse than Vampire Boys flirting, like coffee dates?
Okay, so Vampire Boys, at least it was awkward, but it was like I was not getting major red flags from anybody. In this one, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with Lucas? He's like, Toby's like, I don't know, I'm an okay guy. And he's like, no, you're remarkable. I'm just like, whoa. Whoa.
I don't know. I'm with Toby on this one. He was just kind of, there.
I'm with Toby 100%. All of them are just kind of there. Toby especially, yes. We
Anyway.
understand why later though. There's
Yeah.
a reason why he's so remarkable.
Although it didn't
supposedly.
really make much sense, but whatever.
No, it did not.
Nothing in this movie did.
By the way, too, also Lucas touches Toby's mouth with his fingers, like to shush him on the first date. Fuck you, buddy. Okay, you don't touch my face. You don't touch people's faces on a first fucking date.
Awkward and weird this whole date was, because why do vampires always have such weird dates? I'm trying to figure this out. You think they'd be better at dating after, like thousands of years?
I thought that throughout the whole entire movie, like all these movies, all the gay movies, the gay vampires are always 100% like weird, like from the 1600s. And it's like, dude, you still live in today. You just went to fucking Starbucks. Talk to people. Honestly, Bit did that so much better, even though I joked about that's how she was like, oh, you're dead, fam. At least she understands that things fucking change.
Very true. She doesn't rent out a Freemasons guild to have a dinner date. No, actually, most of this movie takes place in Toby's very boring apartment.
With the Brokeback Mountain fucking poster.
I wrote that down too.
Oh my god.
I would be fine if he had a Brokeback Mountain poster, but it was the only thing.
It was the only thing.
And so it's super distracting. So date's over and Toby goes home. And Toby's about ready to go into his apartment when Lucas shows up and tries to glamour him.
And he tries to rape him.
Yeah. Lucas shows up at Toby's door and he tries to glamour him to get him to invite him in, which I still don't understand, because if you can glamour somebody to get them to invite you in, why does it matter whether or not they invite you in?
Yeah. And through this whole session, I thought it was kind of funny that the cameraman kept getting cornered by their making out. It was like no matter where he moved, they moved against him, and he was like,
Lucas gets into Toby's apartment. He's like, let's make out. They end up on the couch making out, but then, oh no, shock twist here. It's not actually Lucas, because Lucas shows up at the door, and actually it's Anthony that was disguising himself as Lucas. Who is Anthony? We don't know.
That's the movie, hun. That's the whole damn movie. You don't know who these people are. They come and go. We get introduced to like one character and then he's dead the next scene. Who cares? Movie is just futility in motion.
Lucas and Anthony have a big vampire fight, which is hard to follow because every freaking vampire in this movie looks and dresses exactly alike.
Okay, yes. Everybody
we should talk about this
100 times over. Every fucking person in this movie, except for the ladies, which is two, like just two.
Yeah, there's two ladies. I kept waiting the entire movie. I'm like, are there any female vampires? Like, oh, okay, there's one. And there's two if you count Lilith.
And we'll get to Lilith later. But yes. Okay, so here is the clothing for all of the men. Dark denim jeans, a white shirt, and a black fucking coat. And that is it for all of the fucking dudes that are in this movie. And I could not tell them apart because all of their hair looked the same.
I couldn't either. We didn't have subtitles, so
no,
it didn't say who was talking. So we were just like, who are you? I don't know, whatever.
That's another thing too. Everybody's talking through these fucking fake fangs. You cannot understand a goddamn word of what they're saying.
They're pretty big fangs too. They're not like just little like on your like incisors fangs. They're like a whole
the whole mouth.
Yeah, a whole grill of like.
And it was so hard for me to understand anything that was going on because of that, especially when we get to Egypt.
I'm not even sure it was that.
Well, anyway, I think it was.
We'll get to Egypt.
I think it was. I think it was because I think they shot this movie in the order that it was, because by the end of the movie, they were talking a little better. Like they had practice.
That's interesting. We'll look into that. We'll see if that's true or not.
Okay, let's contact the director.
Where are we at? Oh, Lucas and Anthony, they have a big vampire fight. And should we talk about what the vampire fights were like?
Oh, so fucking stupid. I mean, what? Like, good, right?
Well, it basically sped up the film, and that's it.
Yeah, that's everything.
That's how you vampire. You just speed up the film a little. Anyway, Lucas wins the fight. He decides to turn Toby, even though he's not supposed to. He has this great line, "Dead to me, Anthony." Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mark you as my enemy, he says. I mark you as my enemy.
And then when Toby becomes a vampire, oh my god, all he wants to do is drink blood.
Constantly. And he sees red vision.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. I'm like, I guess vampires see in like steak-like heat vision. I don't know.
Yes.
Like if that was just a thing that happened when he turned, or does he see like that all the time? Does it matter? I don't know.
So, and this was also about the time in my notes with all the hissing and the floating and the making out that I wrote, I feel really bad for these actors.
I do too, because honestly, the acting wasn't terrible. It was
could have
not
been
that
better.
bad. They actually had some actors that I think if you put them in a better movie, they would be pretty good.
I really
I like the guy that played Lucas.
Yeah, he was okay.
Yeah.
I like Charlotte. Charlotte was terrific.
Charlotte was the best character in this movie.
She was.
Just because she had like the same attitude toward like everything going on.
Exactly. In fact, she sums up the movie pretty well, but we will get to that later because it's pretty good. By good, I don't mean good. It's not good. But yes, we get to learn a little bit more about them too, about what makes a vampire, which we never really fucking see again. He talks about decapitation and blood drain, and these are the only ways that you can kill a vampire.
I wrote down at some point, like, getting bit by Lilith makes other vampires jealous for some reason.
Because she's a goddess, and she is. She's beautiful. This woman is gorgeous. She got
Don't
the
quote
great
us on that.
Oh no, quote me on that. Lilith is beautiful. I wrote that down. I wrote down that she's smoking hot, and she's got crazy eyes, but that's okay.
So Lucas takes Toby out, and he's sort of teaching him how to vampire, which basically involves like flying and jumping around on buildings like a ninja.
And they have and I hate this fucking trope. They have where the young, naive character looks out into the city and says, "My, this is beautiful," or whatever.
It's so green screen.
It is so green screen. And
they've got like a gigantic green screen moon in the background. It's green.
And then
like the moon is green, not the green screen, but the moon.
Oh, everything is green in this movie. Everything has a green tint to it.
Until we get to Egypt, and then everything's just like blindingly white.
Oh God, fucking Egypt.
We'll get to Egypt.
Okay, the funny thing is, I will tell you right off the bat, I was enjoying this movie until we got to Egypt. And then when we got to Egypt, I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, well, there can't be much more left. And I looked at the time and I was wrong. I had half of the movie to go. And then I cried. Oh, well, yes. And so Lilith also comes back during this point in time.
Yeah, it for some reason, like a lightning strikes the clock and it brings Lilith back, sort of like in Back to the Future. I don't know.
It reminded me of Torchwood in that moment. I'm like, Torchwood's gonna be busy.
Oh, and then, let's see. Anthony meets Marcus, and it's like a twin convention. Oh, vampire fight. Another vampire fight between Lucas and Anthony. I forget why.
Was that when Paul the vampire came in to be?
No, that's later, because Paul hasn't shown up yet.
Okay. There's so many people.
By the way, is it a like trope in these gay vampire movies that you have to have a character named Paul that dies?
Yes.
Is it a trope? Okay, we investigate this further. We'll watch more movies to like find this out for you.
When I write my very gay, very vampiric screenplay, it will have a character named Paul. And he will die.
I think Lucas and Anthony fight because, Lucas wasn't supposed to change Toby. Anthony's apparently, kind of a sucker because he gets beat again.
Anthony's just kind of a bitch.
There's a slight lover spat between Toby and Lucas because Lucas is, going away for a few days. And
by this point, they're like, I fucking love you. I would move the moon for you.
It's been at least, 3-4 hours.
Right. All you need is an afternoon, people. That's all you need.
Well, to be fair, from Toby's point of view, Lucas is his main food source. So, yeah.
That was another weird, interesting thing because it was kind of like Buffy tropes where it's like, you get bit, you bite the vampire. But in this, they don't bite humans. They just fucking bite each other.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too.
That was weird.
It's like they just feed off each other. Okay, so Lucas goes away, but he sends his astral projection to keep Toby in his apartment.
He's full of sparkles, guys.
Like, Toby tries to leave. This is where Paul comes in, because Paul is Toby's ex, and he comes over to his house and he's like, "Oh, Toby, I'm so sorry that I went and cheated on you, and I sincerely regret it." So, and Toby's like, I don't want to even open the door, really.
And we don't want him to. We
Yeah.
don't, because we don't care about this guy. I don't.
No, but Anthony shows up and he bites Paul, and Toby wants to go save him. I don't know why. They're exes, who cares about Paul? But then, yeah, astral projection, Lucas won't let Toby leave his apartment, so he just knocks Toby out and puts him to sleep. Oh, and then I guess Lilith, since she came back, she called a vampire meeting with an Anubis cameo in the background.
Because Egypt, guys. Egypt's coming.
We haven't gotten to there yet, but we're getting close. We're getting close.
Yeah, and Lilith is like, hey, I decided I'm gonna kill all the people, and here's a new superpower. Cool.
Yeah. Every time somebody powered up in this movie,
Oh my
I think
God.
I underlined it.
Okay, we don't know what powers the vampires have because they're always adding new ones. Lightning seems to be a common one, though.
That seems to be Lilith's thing, yeah, because she shocks people with lightning, and that powers them up for some reason. I don't know.
Except when it powers them down.
Don't try to make sense of this movie. We tried and we couldn't, so just don't. No, but Lilith's main plan is she's going to unleash the hordes of chaos onto like humans, and then vampires will rule the earth. I guess that's her whole plan.
I'm making a jerk off sign right now.
But Lilith's like, yeah, Lucas isn't going to be down with this, is he? And they're like, probably not, no. So back to Toby, stuck at home.
He types so fucking slow on his phone. He
Dude,
types so
Toby?
goddamn slow when he's...
Well, to be fair, I don't think he had like a text thing. I think he was doing it with numbers.
Oh my God. That's another thing with this movie too. Like, he has a sister. That's Charlotte. Charlotte is Toby's sister. And I grew up in a solitary egg. I do not have brothers or sisters. I don't know how these things work, but I don't think it works like this when you talk to them constantly and they're like, hey bro, hey sis. Hey bro, hey sis. I don't think that's how that works.
Well, it's how it works in anime, so.
Well, that's different. That's a different world.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about England here.
Oh,
long live the Queen.
No, we're not talking about England, because you know where we're at now. We're
Fuck
somewhere over Egypt.
Fuck you. And he's in a fucking airplane. Like,
no, he's not even in an airplane. He's on top of
the airplane.
Lucas is riding on top of the airplane to Egypt.
So fucking dumb. Why can't he just go on an airplane like a normal person? He's cheap. He's a cheap motherfucker.
Oh, okay. This is where my notes get sketchy because I'm not entirely sure what was happening.
Oh, my notes got a lot better at that point.
Because, okay, so
I
Lucas
said Egypt
jumps off
is
the plane. He lands in front of one of the, like, pyramids, like the Great Pyramids.
Like, with nobody around. Like, nobody taking pictures, no tourists, nothing. His own private pyramid.
And it's blindingly white. It's just an all-white room, except for this one guy who's sitting on a throne with a bunch of, like, drained hot guys around him. And there's like a CGI statue of Anubis in the corner, and then there's like CGI lamps of primary colors. With
No. These are like lightning things, like from the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Yes. And what is he doing, Audrey? What is he doing?
Wait. Oh, who?
The Pharaoh dude.
What's he doing?
What is he doing?
Sitting? I don't.
No. He is listening to rap.
Oh, that's right. He's listening to rap. Okay, I didn't get this until way later. I didn't know who this guy was or why Lucas was going to see him, because, you know,
I still don't, and I don't care. I don't care.
We found out later this is an exiled vampire. I still didn't catch his name. I don't think I ever did.
You don't need it.
Yeah, you don't.
He
but
wears
Lucas is
so
going
much
to
eye makeup.
him basically to find out what Lilith is up to, which I'm not sure why he didn't just go ask somebody else. Because
this dude's an exiled vampire. How does he know what's going on?
You know, to be fair, I kind of relate to this guy because he was like, you only come if you need something.
Yeah, well, that's true because you're a fucking weirdo. Every costume in this looks like it is a Party City reject ad.
Harsh but true.
I felt bad for the actors in it. And he's a white dude.
Yeah. I think he was supposed to be Egyptian, but no, he was just a really tan white dude. Yeah.
And and I cannot understand a goddamn word he says.
No, not
You
really.
cannot, no. You cannot understand anything he says. It sucks. You cannot understand a goddamn word he says.
Not really, no.
At all.
To be fair, I think it's because his fangs are so big. Like his fangs are bigger than everybody else's, it seems like. And I don't think he could talk through his like
Nobody could talk through
mouthpiece.
Fangs. And they had them constantly.
I'm pretty sure Lucas got the lead on this because you can sort of understand what he says most of the time.
He tries so hard.
He does.
You can tell he's enunciating the shit out of everything.
Anyway, Lucas leaves this Egyptian dude, or well, white guy pretending to be Egyptian dude. And back to Toby, he's going on a lunch date with his sister, but oh no, he senses something is up with her and she's in trouble. And so it turns out Anthony's a really good stalker. He basically stalks anybody Toby knows.
Yeah.
Anthony shows up and he saves his sister. But oh no, Paul is back and Paul's now a vampire. But Toby rips out Anthony's heart.
Okay, so all right, this is when I'm like, all these dudes look the same because this is the scene where literally they all have the same outfit.
This is true. As soon as you become a vampire, you get the black blazer and the white shirt and the black pants. And
oh my god. And
that's all you get to wear for the rest of eternity.
And it is the cleanest, heart-ripping out scene I've ever seen. It is very clean. It's a very clean, plasticky heart. You don't even see his hand go through anything.
I love this though, because it turns out it's a fake death scene.
Oh yeah.
And Anthony was faking it the whole time. And that's like 5 minutes of the freaking movie of like Anthony and Toby fighting and then Anthony ripping out his heart. And it's like, it was all fake.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
Oh my God.
There's so much that could be cut from this movie.
With lots of shoving.
Yeah, there's a lot of shoving.
A whole lot of shoving.
And a lot of
somehow wins this fight. I don't know how. He and Charlotte go in his apartment. He goes upstairs to take a shower.
Well, she asks him, do you love Lucas? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I know, because we should say Charlotte was the one that set them up originally.
And she's the one that's like, maybe this isn't a good idea, dude. And she calls him out on being stupid. And I appreciated that. And she slapped him.
I will say this. Toby didn't really have a choice in the matter. Because, yeah, Lucas just turned him without, like, asking for permission.
You have a choice in loving someone, Audrey.
Do you if you're a vampire? I don't know. When Anthony changed Paul, he could control Paul because he was his maker. So I'm wondering how much Lucas is controlling Toby.
Oh, man. That's a whole can of worms.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, I also put in my notes that because this whole scene of them all fighting like idiots takes place outside, and I wrote down, I really wonder what their neighbors think in real life. Like, Martha, they're making another gay vamp flick. Don't mind it. They'll go away soon enough. It's so dumb.
Why the hell are you out here looking like a weird monster?
Yeah. Anyway, so he's in the shower.
Oh, okay. And then, well, if you're waiting for it, this is the only steamy scene you're going to get in the entire movie.
Okay. They don't fuck once.
No, there's just a lot of them feeding on each other, mostly.
They do not fuck once.
Because Toby goes upstairs to take a shower, and then, like, when he's in the shower, Lucas is, like, suddenly there, naked, in the shower with him.
Creeping on him. He, like, stares at him for a full, like, 45 seconds without Toby even realizing that he's there. And then Toby turns on the grossness. Like up to max because he's all like, I'll never leave you again. You are my life, my love, my heart, my blood.
That's called being in love.
It is so long and so gross. But I will be auditioning with it next week. Wish me luck.
Okay, props to Charlotte though. She's downstairs while all this is going on, yelling upstairs like, hey, is everything okay up there?
And she does his goddamn dishes. She's a doll.
She's a good sister.
She's a doll.
She's like, what is all that growling about while she's down there doing the dishes? And Toby's like, nothing, fine.
Masturbating. That's less embarrassing of what we're doing.
Eventually, everybody gets out of the shower.
Yeah. So he's like, I have to get you out of here for your sister's safety and your safety. And he's like, okay. And then they spin around super fast.
you can imagine how this looks with like bad CGI. So yeah.
I feel so sorry for the actors. They're like, what's my motivation? You're spinning super fast. Don't worry, it'll look great in post. Don't worry. Yeah, so he takes them to a fucking cave where they get the goddamn drippy stone, which is our first MacGuffin.
Excuse you, bloodstone, which is just a rock. Drippy, yes.
It's drippy with black gunk. It's so fucking bad.
It doesn't even look like blood. I mean,
And Jesus Christ, there's like a 10-minute exposition scene of this fucking drippy rock. I don't care. I really don't care.
I don't either, honestly. It's supposed to be some sort of weapon that's going to help him defeat Lilith, but it doesn't really matter. Because guess what? Marcus shows up and he's got CGI scorpions.
And lightning mouth.
Yes. And lightning mouth, because Lilith powered them up and they can do that now, apparently. And then I wrote down new character Dell, but I don't know who Dell is or what he's doing.
I said 2 new characters. Sure, why not? Yeah,
there are new characters in this movie up until the last 2 minutes of the movie.
Yes. There are continuously
They're just throwing characters at you left and right. You don't know who they are, why they're there. It doesn't matter.
You do not give a shit. Well, one of them is an incubus, and then he hits on Toby very briefly, and Lucas is like, hey, fucking back off, buddy. I don't care. Let's move on.
Okay.
So they go to a LARPing session.
Harsh, but yeah, they're going to see the vampire elders, where we finally see a female vampire, or at least one.
A vampire or steampunk group that's LARPing.
At least they were dressed differently than Anthony and Marcus and all those guys that were all dressed completely alike.
Oh my God. So Lilith comes back and she's hot, even with the crazy eyes, but she's there.
Yeah, Lilith shows up at the LARPing meeting, right?
And lightning.
Yeah, she zaps everyone except for Lucas and Toby, I guess. They get away.
Yeah, but the incubus guy dies.
Yeah.
And then
didn't care about anyway.
And then Lucas is like, man, I'm really sad about that. We had such good times together. And Toby's like, oh, sorry.
I'm with Toby on this one. I don't know who these people are and why should I care about them?
I do not care. But now is time for the second MacGuffin, Audrey, which is the witch.
Yes, another new character. Toby and Lucas go to visit a witch named Esther, who summons Lilith's sister, whose name I missed. But Lilith's sister is apparently some sort of witch goddess. She's like, I can't fight Lilith, but here's some blood, and take some blood from the bloodstone, put it in this chalice, and then it'll power you up if you drink it.
And surprise, surprise, Charlotte, the sister, is of which bloodline?
Okay, this is where I got real confused, because I guess Lucas originally singled out Toby because he is part of an ancient witch vampire bloodline.
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
None of this comes into play until right now, and a few minutes left in the movie. But apparently they need Charlotte too to defeat Lilith.
And this is exactly what she says.
And this world will become a living hell for those unlucky enough to survive Lilith's first wave.
Right. So what you're telling me is that myself and Toby are from a diluted line of some ancient vampire.
Yeah.
Hold it, vamp boy. And if I drink from that cup, it's going to awaken some witchy shite inside of me, and then we're all going to join together and become the Fantastic Three, go and kick some bitch vampire goddess's ass, and if I don't, the world's going to end. Are you joking?
Exactly.
And this is why Charlotte's her favorite character.
Yeah. She's great. I love her.
You gotta say what happens when she does drink from the cup, though.
Wow. Yeah, she becomes one with the universe, I guess.
Exactly. Her eyes light up, and then you see all these planets and asteroids.
I like that she gets pissed off afterwards. She's like, what the fuck was that? She didn't say that like that, but it's kind of like, that's the energy. I would be pissed too. I'm like, dude, you not only made my brother a vampire, but you got me fucking messed up in all this shit. I don't want to be in this shit. And yeah, we're at the final thing, aren't we? Final countdown.
Yeah, we're at the fight, which apparently they drive to. Somewhere in Wales, I think.
Torchwood! Torchwood, get on this.
But no, Toby and Lucas go to fight Lilith's people, and there's another vampire fight with lots of biting.
And hissing.
Yeah, and hissing. Anthony has lightning powers now. But oh, twist! Marcus actually ends up saving them from Anthony. Because Marcus loves Lucas, which that's new.
Yeah, and they and it flashed back to 2 scenes they had together, which were the most mundane scenes ever. And it's like, oh, yep,
Best part.
that's true love.
Even after Marcus saves him, Lucas kills him anyway.
Yeah, yep.
Flash forward to upstairs. Lilith's upstairs with some of her crew, and there's some sort of lightning portal up there where she's summoning demons from.
And she has mega teeth, and I can't understand her at all.
No, she became like one with a demon, so she gets like some horns and stuff. I don't know what was going
And
on.
mega teeth. Mega teeth. Honestly, at that point, I thought, why not just have her speak some demon language? Because I could not understand one word.
Or the language they were supposed to be speaking at the beginning of the movie, which I have no clue what that was supposed to be. It wasn't Latin, I know that.
German, but the old German?
Germanic language?
Yeah, some kind of Germanic language.
I don't know. If you know, if you watch like the first 5 minutes of this movie and then like put in our comments what language that was supposed to be.
Or don't fucking watch this movie, guys. But yes, apparently this is her final form. Because video game music.
Charlotte's been waiting in the car the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
One of the vampire guys kidnaps her, brings her upstairs where Lilith is, and she's chained up upstairs. But then she breaks loose from these chains and she fights Lilith.
So much lightning and so many different colors.
And if you were wondering what Lucas and Toby are doing right now, basically nothing.
Jack all. That's what they're doing.
Because I'll tell you what happens. What happens is that Egyptian dude, who's not really Egyptian, shows up and pulls Lilith into the portal. Which confuses everyone.
He saves them, I guess.
I guess, but not really. Because then some like lightning comes out of the portal, grabs Toby, and pulls him into the portal. And then Lucas like jumps in after him, and Lucas is stuck in some sort of weird pocket dimension.
And he becomes a vampire angel.
The end?
And then it ends with a rap, yo. Yo.
The end of the movie.
And literally it ends there and begins to rap. My name is Lucas and I'm here to say I'm a vampire and I'm really gay.
Oh, so that was Vampires Brighter in Darkness, which there is a sequel called Lucas Rising.
There is a sequel, yeah.
So yeah, even though it leaves off on a cliffhanger, at least it, I guess, got finished. Like this elsewhere.
I'm so glad that this movie, of all the movies that I've ever seen that I've wanted a sequel for, got a sequel.
I'd like to think that the people that starred in the movie were really passionate about their work, although I also kind of want to like watch it just to find out if it's like Vampire Boys 2 where they recast the entire cast.
I bet you $5 they recast at least 90% of them.
I wouldn't notice because they all looked alike.
That's true. I will say this about Vampire Boys. They did look different.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, we had frosted tips.
Yep, we had frosted tips. That's right.
That guy named Kevin.
Yep. There was one guy that was taller, one guy that was short.
The one guy that like nipple punched. But
no,
this movie, everybody looked alike. Everybody sort of sounded alike. So it wasn't even accents. It was just, everybody looked alike, dressed alike, and had the exact same haircut. So
same haircut, same skin color, same like you said, tone in their voice, except for Toby's was higher, but everybody talked kind of like this. And that was really hard for me because I have white guy face blindness, and they all looked the same. I'm like, why is he hating on that guy now? Oh, oops. I guess that's a different dude.
It took me so long to realize like Paul was Paul. I didn't know who I thought he was. I'm like, I thought he was Marcus or Anthony or maybe
Honestly,
a clone of somebody.
I thought Marcus and Anthony were the same person for like half of the movie.
Exactly, until they meet. Like,
And then I'm like, oh shit.
You're like, oh, okay. But no, that was Vampires, Brighter and Darker. So what are your points? You had some points for
I do have some points. We went through some of them.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to point out this. I actually usually give a free pass for something like this, because a lot of times when you have a passion project, the director, the cinematographer, you know, usually they wear many hats. And sometimes you get really interesting camera work from a cheap camera, but it's interesting camera work. The camera work in this is fucking garbage. Garbage. The shots are horrific. Like,
tell us how you really feel.
I will. I'm sorry. Whoever did this, I don't know your name. I will find you and I will hunt you down. No, I don't have enough time for that. And it's a pandemic. But seriously, like, they're always in shadows. They're always in weird angles. They go out of focus constantly. And I'm just like, what are you doing? So I hope this was volunteer work. I hope that this person was paid in tacos or something like that, because it shows. So that's one of them. So much bad CGI, really bad CGI, like really bad. Like, you take Xena, lessen it by 50%. And that's what you have.
Here's the thing. I thought, like, okay, this movie was very ambitious. All the stuff they wanted to do with this movie, but they didn't really have the resources to do it. But they tried anyway.
Okay.
And I don't know if I should give them like, credit for that or just be like, no, you should have scaled it back. You did not need the CGI scorpions or the CGI dragons or any of that stuff.
100%. They did not need that.
No.
So much is going on in this movie, and yet again at the same time, nothing. Now I'm gonna take another movie. Stitch, I believe is the name. Maybe Stitches. No, Stitch. Again, it's a very ambitious project. A lot more than they had the budget for, obviously. But it had a concept. It had a story. It had characters. Those are needed in a story and in a film.
We had characters. They just had way too many.
Okay. Tell me 3 things about Lucas that are in his character.
Oh God.
See? Yep. What does he want? Apparently to bone somebody, but he doesn't even fucking do that. He doesn't have sex with them at all.
It really becomes like hazy why Lucas wanted Toby in the first place. Like, yeah, okay, Toby's got some sort of weird vampire witch bloodline, but what does that matter? And like, what was wrong with Marcus?
And also too, like, establish that sooner. Like, I don't know why I'm drawn to you, but I'm drawn to you. You know, like, even a throwaway line like that would make more sense. Like, oh, it's because of the dumb blood in him. Got it.
And you know, Lucas was kind of mean to Toby. He's like, oh, you're more of a vampire than I ever thought you would be. It's like, wow. That's
he does take to vampirism like that. Like, he's like hissing at people. I love it. My new favorite thing to do. Drinking your blood. Love it. Give me more. No, it doesn't get a pass at that. Yes, it was ambitious, but for no reason. Ambitious to be ambitious. They probably had a studio that's like, well, we can do an Anubis, we can do scorpions, we can do lightning. Great. We'll pay you in tacos or British tacos. I don't know what they eat over there.
Fish and chips?
Blood pudding all around.
Spotted dick.
Another thing, again, we briefly talked about it. I see this a lot in all these vampire movies, especially the gay ones, which is kind of weird. That one night equals love eternal. And I'm just like, no, I want to watch fucking Lucas do the dishes and have to clean the hair out of the drain after Toby's done with the shower and just be like, that stupid bitch, but I love him.
You never see where Lucas lives in this movie because that was way outside the budget. No, we spent the entire movie at Toby's crappy little apartment.
Yes.
And so you never know, like, is Lucas just like living on the street or what? Or I guess we saw his bedroom at the very beginning of the movie, but that was it.
God bless that Brokeback Mountain poster. We gotta use it.
In case you didn't know what kind of movie this was when you started watching, they made it pretty obvious there.
But it's not even that kind of a movie.
No, it really isn't.
They just goop blood all over each other and hit. If that's your fetish, whoever's listening, if that's your fetish, I'm not fetish shaming you. This is your movie then, I guess. There's a lot of fucking around and no fuck. Didn't like that. Not that they were very charismatic with each other, but if you're gonna, go for it. Just go for it. They were in the shower. You could have gone for it. Some tasteful scenes. Fade outs.
Version for some reason. But I don't think so, because Tubi doesn't usually like do edited stuff.
No, it doesn't.
And I can't imagine this movie being any longer. So
oh my God. So yeah, this could have been cut down to probably
15 minutes.
I was gonna be generous and say 50. This could be a 50-minute movie. Honestly, it's a short, fine, but this is way too much. It broke my mind. No.
I'm not even sure who survived at the end. I'm like, did Lucas survive? Did Toby survive? Did Charlotte survive? We don't know.
Charlotte did. She woke up and she was like, Toby!
Well, she woke up, but she's still in like the room full of vampires.
She's a witch. She can take care of herself.
I guess, but she became a witch like 5 minutes ago, so I don't know how
Hey.
she knows how to use her powers.
It doesn't matter. Toby was like that too. Fucking movie. I really wanted to like it. And like I said, I actually did like it in the beginning because I laughed pretty hard throughout it. But then it just kept going. It just kept going with a whole lot of nothing. And that's what broke my brain.
I know. I'm like, when we went into this like podcast, I was thinking I'm exhausted just thinking about this movie, let alone ever like thinking about watching it again.
Yes, it's exhausting. I would say skip this. Vampire Boys, it's a better thing than this was.
I don't know. That's a hard call. Well, maybe Vampire Boys just because it's shorter. It's like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's shorter and at least
2 hours.
At least you can, it's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination, but at least you have characters that you know who they are ish.
Do you think this would be better if it was a series instead of a movie?
No.
Like if it was episodic?
No. I don't want to watch this. There's just no character. It is like a vacuum. You're watching these vacuums interact with each other and shoot lightning at each other. There was nothing interesting about them. I don't know what Toby does for a living. I don't know what he likes to do. Usually they throw in like, oh, they like bikes, so they're gonna work on bikes. There was nothing like that. I just know he has a sister and he likes the dick, but not enough apparently. I don't know.
He likes Brokeback Mountain. That's all you need to know.
Would you recommend this?
This? No, God, no.
I would not.
That's what I'm saying. We watch movies, so you don't have to.
Exactly. Skip this one.
I can't honestly recommend this to anyone, although we may watch the second one at some point in the very, very, very far future.
We should do this for the sequels podcast that's coming out one day.
Well, I guess how many Cthulhu's would you give this one? I don't have any deep, meaningful thoughts on this one because there wasn't anything deep and meaningful about it.
I'll give it, what can I go down to? Let's ask. I guess I'll give it 1 because it did make me laugh at parts and Lilith was really smoking hot. That's pushing it.
I will give it a 1 for Charlotte.
Well, do you have anything that you would like to plug?
Actually, yeah.
I'll plug mine first.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna plug. I always, on my second episode, I always try to plug something that's LGBTQ. I'm going to plug Brother Ghoulish, who's another podcaster, and you can follow him on Twitter. He's terrific. Anyway, he's great.
Okay, yeah, here it is. Okay,
I found mine too, which is just at Brother Ghoulish.
I'm gonna plug, there's a new book out called Dowry of Blood. It's about Dracula's wives, except it's queer, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah. So Dowry of Blood responds to the latent queerness of the original with a page-turning, heartbreaking retelling of the lives of Dracula's brides. So it sounds pretty good. I haven't read it yet. It's going to be on my list to read, but it sounded great. So
even
much better than this movie.
Yeah, even by the title alone, The Dowry of Blood? That sounds good. That sounds badass. Well, that's all that I've got.
I don't know. I'm exhausted after reliving that movie.
Yes, so let's stop.
Okay, so we're gonna end it. Will you ounce us out? I ounced us out last time.
What's oh yeah. Sorry. Yep. Oomps, 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 da 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 da, oomps, 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 oomps,
See you later.
da 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 da, oomps, oomps.